All right, here we are. Stack Attacka is back, I guess. How are we all doing? I think I might turn up the Lofi just a teensy bit. But yeah, here we are, back with another, art commission live stream. I'll be talking about the commission that I'm going to be working on when I switch screens later. But as per usual, I'm going to do my thing of talking to y'all first, catching up, seeing how we're all doing. I tried to go out and deliver a package today because there's a post office pretty much right across the street from where I live, and there's a sign on the window that says they're open from 8:30 in the morning till 5, and I went at I want to say 2:30 or something. Tell me why the door was locked and the lights were out and there was no other sign that they were going to be closed today. Kane, you're attacking Happy so much. Also, yes, hi, hello, welcome to the stream. Let's see, I'm trying to think of stuff that's been going on, but between the last stream and now, not a whole lot's been going on. I guess I could always talk about that person who tried to get into my server yesterday. I don't know how many of y'all aren't in my server, but yeah, last night was pretty funny. So someone by the name of Dashi, entered my server and tried to make an intro and all that sort of thing. And, they didn't put in a social media link, which is required to join my server. And also, I checked their account and it was made that day. And if you're unaware, I require Discord accounts to be 3 months old minimum, or otherwise have someone in the server vouch for you so you can join. So that being the case, I told them, hey, these are the issues. You're not going to be allowed to join the server right now. Please don't try to join again until your account is 3 months old. If you don't leave on your own, you will be automatically removed in 24 hours. And, just regular spiel. And they replied at first with okay, bye, sorry, that sort of thing. And then they dropped the F slur for gay person, misspelling it, by the way, and then dipped. So, I don't know what they thought they were gonna accomplish with that, but I definitely banned them, and there's no chance of them getting in the server now. So, also, they said that their only social that they had was YouTube, even though they didn't link it. So, Dashi, if you're watching this, nay. Yeah, I don't know what their problem was. I kind of got, the vibe that they were a troll from the instant they joined the server, to be honest. Kane, can you lay off the attacks, please? That's enough! Katie asks, does YouTube even count as a social? Or for the sake of my server, I count it as a social because, I have a YouTube channel of my own, and, it's a way for me to, in case of an emergency, get in contact with people if Discord ever, like, you know, goes down and I need to get a hold of them. And, like, since my primary, you know, social media of choice other than Tumblr is YouTube, I tend to count YouTube. Hey, Roxas says YouTube for a time had a social media chat box, but it was barely used. I remember when it also had, like, an email function, kind of. I used to email other, like, creators that I looked up to at the time, and there was one that, like, was the first one who introduced me to, like, YouTube to MP3 websites. Because I was like, how can I download this thing just to, like, put it on my MP3 player and listen to it? And, like, you know, instead of going through the hassle of, like, making an MP3 file and sending it to me, because that is plenty of work, they, like, sent me a link to a YouTube to MP3 website. And I'm pretty sure it's dead now, but, like, the floodgates opened that day. I don't think I've paid for a song since. All right. What's been going on with you guys? Anything, like, you know, going on that you want to talk about, or any sort of, like, video game news that we want to discuss? I do have a tiny bit of video game news that I'm ecstatic for, that I learned just, like, minutes before starting the stream. Apparently, a preview of, like, the, like, Sonic racing game has dropped, like a preview of the DLC for that, and Knights is in there. Victory! I'm like, Knights mentioned, please put Knights, give Knights another game, give Knights another game. I need it. Knights hasn't had a game since 2007. I need a new one. Please, Nintendo and Sega, hear my calls. Amari said, oh wait, it's totally not available. I'm sorry, I keep, that's my bad, sorry. As of recently, in terms of video games, I'm really getting into Dispatch, kinda. I've been, like, you know, kind of looking into it from a distance. I mostly just, like, see the memes and send them to, like, the people I know who are really into Dispatch. Like, again, I know Happy is, and Sierra is, so I usually just send them the videos, but, like, I don't know too much about, you know, Dispatch myself, honestly, and I know that, like, you know, there's YouTubers who have played it, and I could watch those. I just haven't really had much time. As Sega making the coolest characters and then tossing them in the vault for a decade after. Yeah, at this point, it's gonna be like 2 decades soon. Knights is the main reason I keep drawing horned characters. I love, like, characters that are in the general shape of Knights. It's just such a satisfying shape. I do love, like, the little horn/jester hat thing. I think I've discussed this before, but, like, the general shape of that, in particular, Jackal the Mantle from the first Knights game, was the inspiration behind, the kind of horns and stuff that, like, Marin had in, Percy and Springtrap back when I was still doing that. Kane, could you maybe, like, ease up a little bit? Like, lighten up. I don't know what's going on, but like, this isn't the place, and this isn't the place or time for beef, okay? This is a nice place. We come here to chillax. I don't think I've heard of Blood Money. I have been, for a while, getting into, what's it called? The Freak Circus? Because Sierra's been kind of dragging me into that, and of course I like clowns. Yeah, to make a long story short about the plot, it's like yandere clowns, and it's still in progress right now. It should be on itch.io, and I follow the creator on Tumblr to keep up with like updates and stuff. Oh, you were being silly? That's alright then. Just please try to remember to use tone indicators in the future. It makes it easier for me to tell what's going on, and can like, otherwise I get kind of nervous. I don't want this to be like, I don't want this to turn into a place where, like, you know, people start having beef. Where's the beef? Not here. Got you some bagels, Katie. Awesome. But yeah, it seems like the next update for the Freak Circus should be coming soon. The creator mentioned that pretty much all of the coding is done, and they just need to, like, you know, test out all of the different routes and make sure that, like, the different options that they have to choose from don't, like, break before they put the thing out. And I'm super excited for that. And I'm also excited because, like, obviously y'all know that I play Cookie Run Kingdom, and there's, like, a sort of joke game that somebody made based on it called Take Care of Your Own Shadow Milk. And it's just, like, really lighthearted and goofy. And it was, like, very bare bones when it first came out. But the creator of that has also been working on an update for it, and it looks a lot more extensive. Like, there's different rooms that you can take Shadow Milk to, and I think more items to give him, as well as, like, new characters that he can interact with. I know that Pure Vanilla is going to be in there, and I can't wait to see more of Pure Vanilla in the art style of Take Care of Your Own Shadow Milk, because, like, they just look like blobs, pretty much. They look like sad, pathetic blobs that you just want to be maternal towards. It's very funny, and I'm looking forward to that too. Oh, and another thing I'm looking forward to is I've been hearing that in the next Bendy game, Sammy Lawrence is supposed to play a bigger role. And, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, even though, you know, the Meatly keeps saying, like, yes, he's actually going to have a bigger role this time and yada yada yada, I've been baited too many times in the past for me to be, like, 100% sure that it's going to happen. Because, like, how many times has it happened now where it's like, oh yeah, Sammy Lawrence is gonna play a big role in here, and then he comes in and he's like, hi, I'm Sammy Lawrence, and then he drops dead. I'm done with it. Give him to me for, like, an entire game. Let me sink, affectionately, let me sink my claws into him and never let go. I need him for an entire game. Like, we've had him for one chapter, I think, and, like, bits and pieces of other chapters, and then, like, a few seconds in other games, and I'm like, I need to have an entire game that's just him. Hi, Ruby, welcome to the stream. I'm talking about my OG fictional husbando. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it because, like, the Meatly has pulled the rug from under my feet too many times for me to trust that they're not gonna do it again. I'm looking at this welcome mat warily, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna step on this. Alright, what else has been going on? I've been trying to take up a new hobby recently. My dad, I worked with my dad to make a cardboard loom that's shaped like a mitten, so I can potentially make mittens for people for Christmas. And I successfully made my first mitten, but since it is just the first mitten, it's kind of full of holes, and honestly, it functions better as like a fingerless glove than a mitten. But I think if I just, like, you know, go back to the drawing board about, like, what sort of materials I use and, you know, the spacing and everything like that, I should be able to make some decent mittens. But I did my first one at the very least, and I'm proud of that. Katie says, also, I caved in and listened to Christmas music. In a sense, I have too, but, like, it's not the kind of Christmas music that people would, like, think of. I typically, just to, like, chill out and help me focus and stuff, I go to, like, there's a certain YouTube channel I go to that has, like, kind of slow, jazzy, instrumental, music. And I believe they have, like, different genres of stuff. And the one that I've been going to is kind of like a jazzy sort of Christmas cafe. And I think the best part about this channel, right, is, like, they have very intricate and detailed artwork on their videos. And they're not generated by AI. The art isn't generated by AI. They actually have, like, posts in their community tab about their rendering process for the art. And the music isn't AI generated either. And the owner is very much, like, anti-AI. So I'm very happy about that. And that's typically what I just go listen to because, like, it's not super Christmassy, I guess, like, in the way that people think of. It's just background noise for me. It's just, like, something I can put on to fill the air and be able to, like, focus or chill out or do whatever I need. And I like it. But it's not, like, you know, top 40 Christmas songs. Like, it's not Mariah Carey or anything. Keep her in the iceberg just a little longer, guys. But yeah, like, if you want to count that as, like, listening to Christmas music, then I guess technically I've been listening to Christmas music. But I don't really count it, though. That being said, it's not like I'm not preparing for Christmas at the same time, because, like, I typically, around this time, I start looking for, like, gifts for other people, because, let's face it, you never know how long these things are going to take to ship, and I like to make sure that things, you know, get here before Christmas. So I typically order my stuff, like, pretty early. It's happened too many times where, like, I've made Christmas lists and, like, you know, Christmas morning comes and, like, my mom or my dad or someone will be like, oh, by the way, I ordered this for you for Christmas, but it's not coming for, like, another week or two. And it's like, I asked for this at the beginning of November for this purpose. But yeah, like, that's why I do that. Roxa says, my mom already got gifts prepared. They are all fully wrapped up in our finally cleaned living room. That's awesome. And I can't wait to see pictures of your Christmas tree. And again, I'm so proud of you for, like, getting your place clean again. I bet it's gonna make you feel so good when the whole house is, like, completely clean and, like, updated and stuff. Let's see. I was thinking of getting a Doughy plush for Christmas, but I got plenty of plushies. I think there was, like, one thing that I saw that I kind of jokingly told Sierra that I want for Christmas. I don't expect her to get it for me, honestly, because, like, it's kind of jokey, but, like, the Game Grumps recently restocked their body pillows, and the body pillow of Dan I really kind of like, and it also helps that, like, the artist for those body pillows is the same one who did the character art for Dream Daddy, so it's like, that should give you an idea of how good these look. And so I was like, I want a Dan body pillow for Christmas. What's your question, chicks? Doki says, whenever I'm shopping, I keep an eye out for gift ideas for people. If I find one, I get it and put it in a bag label for the person. I do this all year. What I do is, like, I just have, like, a Google Doc or, like, a note thing that I write down gift ideas for, honestly, throughout the entire year if I can. Because, like, you already know that, like, you know, sometime in the spring or summer, I'll be like, oh, this person would probably really like this item. And then by the time Christmas comes, I'm like, oh, what do they want? So, like, it's good to just have something to fall back on that people would probably like. What would be a good gift for Caden? Because I'm thinking, but I have no idea. Well, it's not going to be really any use to, like, get any sort of, like, physical gift for them. Because, like, there's not a... I don't think there's exactly a way to send them stuff in the mail. So, like, probably just a digital art piece. I think they'd be fine with that. "2026 is coming soon." Yeah, I'm kind of glad that, like, time is going by relatively fast, because, like, you know, given the current state of the world, I feel like it's better to try to, like, help yourself be happy and, like, savor the joys that life has to offer, because you know that the world is, like, constantly trying to drag people down and make people miserable, and we can't let that happen, because, like, the more we feel miserable, the slower that time's gonna feel, and the slower that time feels, the longer we're going to feel like we're in the middle of all this bad stuff. And then when it changes, then it's going to feel like, you know, such a slog that it took to get to that point. But if you let yourself, you know, enjoy the things that life has to offer, and you, like, manifest joys for yourself, like, even if you just, like, do little treats for yourself every now and then, or, like, I don't know, just, like, doing unexpected nice things for yourself and other people, and, like, bringing joy to yourself and others, then, like, by the time that things change for the better, it'll be like you've blinked. Which is a good thing, I imagine. Because, like, who wants to dwell on that kind of bad stuff? No one. So it's, yeah, like, it's important to let yourself be happy and find ways to let yourself be happy. Not even, just, like, especially in times like these. Because, like, it's good for you. It's good for the mind, good for the soul. So yeah, it's a good thing that 2026 is coming up. Because, like, the sooner that all this bad stuff is over, the better. There's such things as putting yourself first and self-love. Yeah, and, like, putting yourself first doesn't mean that you're, like, putting others aside either, necessarily. I feel like some people may get it confused, where it's like, you know, looking out for yourself isn't the same thing as putting others down. You can support yourself first, and then use that strength to support others. It's all very convoluted and confusing, but suffice to say, it's always good to be kind and find joy than, you know, otherwise. That being said, I think we've probably spent enough time, like, catching up. And before I get started on the commission, I'm just gonna do a quick BRB, and then I will jump straight into the commission once I get back. I'll see y'all in just a few minutes. Alright, and I'm back. That was just like a quick little BRB. There was just something I needed to look into real quick. Anyway, the commission that I'm going to be working on today is going to be of this character, and what this customer ordered was like a head slash bust icon image. So I'm probably only going to be drawing the head of this character. And I have on my second monitor a reference image for like the kind of pose for this that I have in mind. So I'm going to just again have that on my second monitor and try to use it as a reference as best as I can. So let's get started. Yeah, I've honestly, like, you know, I rarely see Sparkle Dogs anymore. And I've never had a Sparkle Dog of my own, but I do love whenever I, like, see them. I'm probably gonna go back and, like, you know, toggle that character reference image every so often. And I'm sorry if I, like, you know, get kind of quiet. But y'all know me. Once I get started drawing, I kind of enter focus mode. Yeah, I'm not really used to, you know, drawing furries. Of course I'll draw furries. It's just that sometimes I might need a little help. And so if I have to use a ref for that, it's fine by me. Shape of this dude's nose, just kind of that. I feel like it's only giving Charizard vibes right now because I haven't put in the teeth or any of the other features, but like, yeah, I guess the maw is kind of Charizard. Minecraft Lofi. I have been considering getting back into Minecraft a little bit. trying to figure out, like, you know, the tongue situation here. There, that looks good, I think. Looking good. Doesn't seem like this character has eyebrows, but for the sake of, you know, expressiveness and artistic liberties, I'm gonna put some in. And I might even, like... Yeah, I think I'll just leave them normal. I don't know what this client would want in terms of, like, eyebrow customization, so I'm just gonna leave it. Let me see... Lower the opacity a bit. Here we go. Love thick eyebrows. People draw Spamton with them. I love thick eyebrows too. But I get if some people, like, prefer thinner eyebrows or no eyebrows in their art. If I had a nickel for every time we've talked about eyebrows in my art streams, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Floofy ears, floofy hair. Yeah, they described this character as being a minor god, but they're not sure yet what they're the minor god of. But they also said that, like, this character is emo, so I'm probably just going to focus more on, like, the emo aspect than the god aspect. I think I might make the hair a little bigger. It seems bigger and fluffier on the reference image than it does here so far. Clean that up. For some reason, when you were talking about thick eyebrows, my mind immediately went to the Moto Moto song that goes, I'm big, I'm chunky. Who does not love a good, thick eyebrow? It's a shame that Troceates can't have them. Unless they were tattooed on. But yeah, by default, you know, since Troceates don't have hair, they can't exactly have eyebrows. Whoopi Goldberg stole all their eyebrows. If you understand that reference, you're a champ. Neck. It looks like the studs on their collar are rounded instead of spiked. So we're just gonna do a few circles evenly spaced apart. And then let me pick like a red or something. Thanks for being a supporter for 24 months. So it looks like the red line goes down the snout and up like that. What does it do above the eye? Anything? It might. I don't see it there though. It definitely loops back around on the other side and then goes down the neck. Yeah, like that. I think I might just have the red line like coming up and meeting the edges of the eyebrows. I feel like that would make sense. Before I do too much else, let's make sure that this thing is floofy enough. I'm low-key considering, like, having the character, like, lifting up a paw over in this empty space to just kind of fill it some more. It's just a consideration. I might test it here in a bit. Might do an extra thing of ear fluff right here. Yeah, maybe a wave, but also, like, I do want to keep in mind that this character is emo, so, like, I'm trying to think of an emo hand gesture that isn't just flipping off the camera. Got barrettes. It looks to me like the red parts of the hair take up like a good bit of space. Something like that. The inside of the ear is checkered, as are the eyes. Let me look at the paws of this character real quick. Okay, so it almost looks like they're wearing socks. But I don't know. See, it's like, I'm okay with, like, taking some creative liberties. I just worry about, like, how much creative liberties I can take. Because if this character is wearing socks, I don't want to then draw some beans. Maybe I can fill the space with, like, either the paw print or a wing? Probably a paw print. Obviously, more than anything, I just want to make sure that the customer is satisfied. Make this a little bit bigger. Move the paw print. There is one other thing I want to do. Let me see. There's my grid pen. So take that. I've got my circle tool here. We're going to put this dead in the center of the canvas. And then on a new layer, I'm gonna go like right at the edge here. And see, now with this circle here, we can pretty much see where it would crop as an icon. And so as a result, I feel like perhaps if I shrink down the paw print and put it there, it might look a little bit better as an icon. Because that is what this is. It is what it is. That being said, I might also... Let's see. Do that. That way some of the collar is visible. I'm probably not going to draw anything, like any part of the body that's below the collar. So yeah, I think composition-wise, this is probably it. Just gonna do a quick stretch and maybe take a sip before I get started on the line art. And by the way, since I'm done with the sketch, I might as well show you the reference that I used. So let me copy and paste that over after I take a quick sip. There we go. All right, so the reference I used, unfortunately, is from Pinterest, so I don't know who the original artist is. But they made this piece of, like, you know, various angles of canine furry head, and obviously this is the one I used as reference. And, like, these days, unfortunately, I've been falling into a bit of a habit where, like, if I'm feeling particularly lazy, I'll just, like, find a free-to-use pose reference base and, like, draw over the top of it. And, like, it's fine for when I want to get something out in a rush, or I'm not doing it for, like, a commission or anything that's paid. It's just stuff that I want to do for myself. But at the same time, I've kind of been relying on that method, I think, a little too much, and so I want to try to break out of it a little more. So in that sense, I'm pretty grateful for these commissions, as well as for Art Fight when that happens, because it gives me a chance to, you know, go back to doing this stuff without tracing. And by the way, if anyone is ever, like, curious about where I get the pose references that I use, I would say, like, 99% of the time I'm using references from an artist by the name of Melon Soup, and I've mentioned them before. So if you haven't checked them out, please do. They're also on Pinterest. They upload all their own art, and they're the GOAT for this. They've organized their bases by, like, you know, subject and what's going on in there. So it's like, you know, single person reference base, you know, full body, half body, sitting, standing, walking, doing X, Y, Z. And they have it for so many options. Like, the fact that it's organized is, mwah, chef's kiss. so I don't have to go digging around to find something I'm looking for and take hours and hours. Yeah, V, I saw that you ordered a commission from me. I'm going to be doing these commissions on live streams in the order that I received them. So, you know, obviously I'm working on this one first because this is the first one that somebody ordered during SawCon. And there's a few other commissions that are ahead in line. So getting around to yours might take a while. I hope that's okay. I'm going to try to do like streams twice a week where I focus on commission work, so that hopefully I don't just like sit on my ass about this anymore. Because like I feel like having these art streams as a way of working on the commissions is like a really good incentive for me, because y'all are watching me. And it's like I can't just, you know, have an art stream and not work on art, you know? So hopefully this will get my rear in gear. And it seems to be working so far, considering that I finished that overdue commission for Z. And now I'm working on this. So, yeah. Actually, Katie, that brings up a good question. Let me make it a poll, actually, just for fun. See if I can figure this out. Start a poll. There we go. Which do you prefer, y'all? Solo streams or streams with friends? I'll check on the results probably later before the stream ends for sure. Do y'all think I should do like a tiny bit of fluff on the chin? Not necessarily a beard, but just like extra dog floof. Like, it wouldn't necessarily be a goatee either, just like, again, extra dog hair. How'd that look? Maybe just a couple of small tufts like that. Maybe a bit bigger? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Oh, hey, Catafang, there you are. Let me outline this part here and then show you what I've got so far. This is actually a good time for you to come because I was just like asking questions about like stuff I should add, like should I add a little extra floof to the chin, and like I also added a little extra floof on like the cheek over here because I felt like it needed it. And I was also like, you know, I was looking at the reference you gave me, and in regards to the red lines that go along your character, I couldn't quite see what they do above the eyes, so I kind of just sketched out that they go up to, like, the eyebrows and, like, come out on the other side. So it's like the eyebrows almost kind of the line, even if they're not necessarily red. I don't know what color they are. There weren't any in the reference image, but like for the sake of expressiveness in this, I felt like they were needed. But yeah, this is what I've got so far. If there's anything that you want me to change or like anything that I should add, feel free to let me know. I'm hoping to get this done within the span of the stream. Yeah, that's how this is going, and I am having a fun time drawing your boy. I swear sometimes I'm really good at drawing these kind of sharper lines, and then other times it's like, no, I don't wanna, says my hand. I swear it's so hard to make these lines meet sometimes. What tablet am I using? Let's see. Let me pick this bad boy up. This is a Wacom Intuos CTL 6100 WL. They're normally available at Best Buy, and they're pretty small tablets, but they're the ones that I've used like consistently over the years, and so as a result, it's like the one that I'm the most comfortable with using. And I know also that like when I'm quiet and drawing, y'all can kind of hear the streaky noises of my pen on the tablet, like that sound. And the reason for that sound is because like my preferred nib for my tablet is a felt nib. And there's like some pros and cons to using felt nibs. The biggest pro for me is that like it kind of helps it feel like paper when I'm drawing. So it offers like a tiny bit of resistance, which is really satisfying for me. But the con is these things get used up so quickly. Like, you know how over time tablet nibs kind of like get flat? The ones that are felt tend to do that the quickest. So I have to replace them a little more often than, say, the plastic ones. But it's worth it to me because, like, truth be told, the felt nibs and, like, all nibs for Wacom products are, not very expensive. However, I'm not entirely sure that I would recommend Wacom products right now. Because, like, take this with a grain of salt, because the last I heard of this was, like, literal years ago. I would say, like, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, whenever my last tablet kicked the bucket. But, I heard that at one point, Wacom was using, AI images in their advertising. And like I said, I don't know if that's something that they're still doing in the present day, or if it's something that, like, they were unaware of and they apologized for. I don't know. It's best to do your own research with this kind of thing, especially because it was so long ago. So, like, just because I'm telling you this, don't, like, immediately hold it against them. Just, like, look into it yourself, and obviously if it's still something that they're doing, you know, disavow that, look into other products, etc., etc. That was just the last thing that I heard, so I'm not 100% certain on, like, recommending their product. I should look into it, because I would love to recommend these products, because I love this tablet. Looks like the outline is almost done. If the preview is anything to go by. All right, let me get this paw print. Oh, I almost forgot the collar. Me and my perfectionism. Just like, oh, this circle's fine, but it's not circly enough. What am I even doing? There. Okay. Before I take another BRB break, I'm going to close the poll. And it looks like, by a slim margin, Solo won. Man, y'all really like both streams, huh? That's honestly good to know, because I like doing both streams. But there's a time and a place for each. Alright, so with that being said, really quick, I'm gonna save my progress on this commission. No, just had to make sure it was in the right spot. And I'm gonna BRB again real quick, and we shall get back to it when I return. All right, and we are back. So, first things first, I'm gonna need to outline the lines and where the hair turns red.
You're taking too long.
I am not taking too long. I just got back. Alright, there we go. And luckily for me, the like head and bust icons are like flat color only. So I won't have to go crazy with the rendering today. And I definitely appreciate that on, like, you know, designs that are kind of complicated like this. It's not too complicated. My persona is probably more complicated than this, and I've fully rendered it before, but, like, it's nice to be able to take it easy a little bit. Something like that, I think. Oh, it's looking so good when it's clean. Just gonna go ahead and fill in, like, all the red space. Since I'm here. And make sure I get, like, all the stray pixels. Because, like, as much as I like Metabang, the bucket tool is not the best. Alright, before I do any other part, I want to focus on the checkers stuff first. So let me get the colors for the ear. Hang on a sec. I'm gonna get up real quick because I think I hear Jet snoring. And I just want to see if it is. He is currently in the living room in his cat bed, and he is out like a light. I was hearing, like, a weird squeaky noise every few seconds, and I think it's him snoring. Hey, Edie. There, I woke him up. I didn't do anything mean to him. I just, like, gave him a pet. But I was like, I can hear this cat from my living room. So thankfully, I'm thinking I can just use the grid tool here. Just make myself like a nice grid pattern. And then I want to see how well the paint bucket tool behaves for this. Good enough, I think. Just gotta fill in the gaps in some places. I don't think anyone is going to be scrutinizing the grid pattern. Right, next to the eye, color 1. Color 2 is pretty much the same red. And I'll color in the eye outline too. Of course. Go. Gonna be making the grid in this eye slightly smaller than the one that's going to be in this eye just because of perspective. Fill in the rest. And now the other eye. There is one artistic liberty with the eyes that I'm kind of considering taking, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Let me try turning off the NT. There we go. That seems a little better. Oh, there we go. Now that seems cleaner. That all cleaned up. There, that's looking good so far. And I'll just color in the outlines too. Might lower the opacity just a tad. Looking good. Right, now as far as that artistic liberty goes, allow me to demonstrate just really quick. This isn't necessarily something that's in the reference, but I think it might look good. And of course, like that. Yeah, like that. I feel like it makes the eyes pop a little more. I'll just put those together. And we can keep going with the rest of it. So, nose is red, collar is red. I'll fill those in. I think that the paw print was red too. Yep. So, I feel like the tongue would probably be the same red, so I'm gonna do that. And then darker red for the inside of the mouth. Black for the part that's way back there. Obviously white for the teeth, but before I fill that in, just gonna make a layer of this color so that the white isn't like blending in with the grid pattern in the background and I can actually see what I'm doing. Because like if there were any stray corners or anything that I needed to fill in, I want to be able to see them. And since I'm filling in white parts, I can get the eye white while I'm at it too. A color I didn't expect myself to like is yellow, I think. I used to think it was, you know, kind of obnoxious and stuff, and some yellows are, but there's other yellows that I've come to like this sort of soft pastel yellows instead of the harsh yellows, if that makes sense. Yeah, like, I do also kind of like the gold-ish kinds of yellow. It's just that there's a lot of other yellows that are bright and annoying and I do not like. Alright, so I'm thinking the eyebrow can be like darker, but not completely black. And then where it is under the hair, I fill in the same color, and then I just like lower the opacity a bit just to give the illusion that it's there, I suppose. I can't think of a better word than illusion right now. Maybe suggestion? I don't know. Either way, grab this. I'm so proud, by the way, that K-pop Demon Hunters got as big as it did. I don't think anybody was expecting that. And the fact that it's like practically usurped Disney in terms of popularity. I don't know about y'all, but I love that. Alright, which layer did I put the eye whites on? Here? Okay. So, go. Y'all know me, I like doing just a little bit of, like, eyeshadows. That's not to say eyeshadow the kind of makeup, I mean shadows on the eyes. Motion blur. Let's bring back those eye details from earlier. Ooh, I almost forgot. Yeah, the barrettes again. And then I'll just go and color in the line art in a few more select spaces. I do hope that, like, even though this isn't exactly like an art tutorial kind of thing that I do, that, like, watching me do what I do might help some of y'all. Like, I don't know, I just hope that y'all look at this and maybe on the off chance that you go, oh, that's a cool technique, or like, oh, that's a cool thing he's doing, I want to apply it to my art. If that ever happens, that's awesome. I don't know that, like, anyone ever really has, like, taken aspects of my art style, which, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even sure how I would describe my art style other than cartoony. Because, like, a lot of what I do, I feel like I just tend to mimic a lot of other art styles. Like, trying to make stuff look as close to this other thing as possible. And so I'm like, I don't really know how to describe my own art style when I'm not mimicking something. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that's good. I was worried that, like, if I used the same gray, it might look a bit too bright, but it looks okay to me, I think. Do you think I might lighten that up just a bit with a teeth? There's the teeth. I think I also want to outline the nose. I might even add a shine to the nose just because. Who does not like a shiny nose? Shiny red nose. Just in time for Christmas. Maybe a little darker on that. And that's a little better, I think. Oop. And then I just had another idea. See. Blur those again, maybe not that much. Maybe just one more. Blur again. Set this to add, I guess. Oh, that looks good. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. There we go. Just a tiny little sheen on the nose. And while I'm at it, I think I'll do, a little bit of hair shine. And first, do that.
You're taking too long.
Stop. Art takes as long as it takes. Alright, this is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. So, let's get everything in a group. And then something I've been doing lately is an easy way to add a white outline to whatever I'm drawing is I'll select whatever I want the outline to be around. And if you right click it, it should say include this area as selection. Then I'll go up to select, click expand, and I typically do like 5 to 10 pixels. That's 5, so I think I'm gonna do another 5 for a total of 10. And then I get a new like layer open and just drop, use the bucket tool and just drop all white, and then it has that white outline. Now for the background, I had something in mind for this already, but unfortunately it's like not something that my art program is capable of, so I'm gonna have to nab it from someplace real quick. It's just a rainbow gradient, so. Alright, let's see. Yep, copy image. Then I'll rotate it to about this. Make it big. You want to try to just like get as much of the rainbow in there as possible. Alright, so that, and then, let's see, checkerboard pattern. I'm gonna paste this on top just to... Yep, it's got a watermark on it. Why would you watermark a checkerboard pattern? It's a checkerboard pattern. This looks good, though. So drop that down. Make it big. Ooh, I like this. I like this. And then just as like another test, the inverse. This is pretty much how it would look as an icon. And it looks okay like this, but I think I might try to bring the like rainbow thing in a little bit more. I might attempt to make my own rainbow gradient like that from scratch. Let's see what we can do. So first things first, I want to make sure I have the right angle, and I feel like this is a good angle to work with. Yeah, just make the red go all the way up. Orange. Yellow. Maybe a little further out the yellow. And I do kind of want this yellow to be a bit smaller than the others because yellow bleeds everywhere. See, da-na-na-na. Cyan. Blue. And purple. Should be good there. All right, now blur it. Stronger. Just go as strong as we can on this. And then checkerboard pattern and take a look. Oh yeah, I think I like that more. Just for a comparison, like this is the rainbow gradient that I made versus the one that I just nabbed. I think I like this much better. Hell, I might even... Ooh, burn does something interesting with that, but I don't like it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. And let's see, what's something else I want to do? Oh, right, I need to glaze it. I don't know if I've ever told y'all about glazing. I've brought it up a long time ago on my Discord server, but in the sourced references room in my server, if you scroll up enough, it just takes a little scrolling. There's a bunch of images that might look strange at first glance. Like, for example, let's see, the one that I'm gonna use is going to be this one. And like, it looks kind of glitchy and nonsensical and stuff, and that's on purpose. Because the purpose of glazing your art is to kind of skew the like color values in it just ever so slightly, hardly enough to be perceived by the human eye, but boy, does it fuck with, like, AI generation. So, like, if someone were to attempt to use this image to train AI, this glazing thing makes it way more difficult for the AI to make anything cohesive. So let me blur that just ever so slightly. And it also has the added benefit of just adding a tiny bit of texture to the piece. So yeah, that's what it does. And I'm gonna go ahead and also add a little watermark. A watermark, if you will. Always gotta go for center align text. Make it small. Unsquish the text a little bit. And of course, the copy that I'm going to be sending to the client will not have this watermark in it. But, like, if I choose to post this publicly, I want to be able to have the one that is watermarked. There we go. And with that, I think we're just about finished here, folks. So, thank you everybody so much for coming and watching. If you liked what you saw, please leave a thumbs up on the video. And as well, drop a comment when comments are available on the stream, which should be in just a few minutes. I ask this of you because, like, YouTube is continuously changing the algorithm and making it so that videos with comments and more engagement on them typically get pushed more in the algorithm. So, you know, comments and engagement and stuff like that is very much appreciated. If you're able to share this with, like, any of your friends who would be interested, please feel free to do that. And, yeah, I'm probably going to be doing another commission stream on Thursday, so I hope y'all look forward to that. And that's all for now. I will see you all in the next video / stream. Take care of yourselves, be kind to one another, and above all, just be kind to yourself, too. Alright, that's it. That's all, folks. See you next time.